Now, this is hilarious because actor Kevin Bacon, he wore prosthetic teeth, nose and glasses to experiment with anonymity, trying to be like the everyday man, but his experiment was short-lived because he said, quote, "I had to wait in line to buy a coffee. I was like, this sucks. I want to go back to being famous." Gee, Dee Dee, it's a hard life being a celebrity, isn't it? Not having to wait in line for coffee, but look, he gave it a fair go, I suppose.
Well, I think actually he's at risk of coming across as a bit of a spoiled brat and a bit of somebody who none of us want to be 6 degrees from, as we all are. I'd like to think that Kevin Bacon did this just as a joke or for a bit of fun, because if you take it seriously, it's just, I mean, I can't stand that expression white privilege, but it's a bit privileged, isn't it? And all the influencers are probably fainting and clutching at their pearls because they're all dying to be famous. And here's Kevin Bacon, who is famous, who just doesn't want it for that moment. I mean, everyone wants something they haven't got. I'm going to assume that Kevin Bacon did this for the fun of it and not because he actually hates his life as a celebrity.
Yeah, I agree. I think he just wanted to see how far he could test the waters at being anonymous. He gave it a day at least. Good on him for trying. Now, Alec Baldwin's trial for involuntary manslaughter over a fatal shooting on the set of Western movie Rust has begun. The Hollywood A-lister was pointing a gun at cinematographer Helena Hutchins during a rehearsal in 2021 when it fired a live round, of course, killing her and wounding the movie's director. Dee Dee, he could actually face jail time if he's found guilty by the jury.
Yeah, he could. And I think this trial is going to be a lot less Hollywood juicy than people are actually expecting. I think it's going to be quite dry and technical because a lot of the evidence is going to, and the discussion, I think, in the case, is going to revolve around the gun that was used, because Alec Baldwin insists that he didn't fire the gun. He didn't pull the trigger, I beg your pardon, that he only cocked the gun. And his defence team say that the gun had been modified, somehow filed down. The FBI tested it and they said, no, it fired absolutely normally. But in the FBI doing their testing, they destroyed the gun. Therefore, there is no evidence to prove whether or not this gun, there are some photographs, I believe, but there's no actual gun to look at to determine whether he did actually fire it or whether he did just pull the trigger back. So I think it will be very technical, and I think that it is a question that's going to be very difficult to answer. I suspect that he may end up being cleared of these charges, and I think the only thing that we can be sure of is that he should be treated like any other person. He shouldn't be given any special privilege in this particular case because he's a celebrity.
No, I completely agree with you. It'll be interesting to see what the jury finds. Dee Dee Dunleavy, good to speak with you. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.